What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to the channel. As y'all know, Nas recently dropped a new album called King's Disease 2. Um, Executive produced and produced by Hit Boy. Nas is one of my favorite artists, always has been one of the biggest influences lyrically for me and just how he moves in the game. Let's get into it though. The Pressure, the intro song. I felt like this song is kind of light, beat wise and lyrically. It's decent, nothing to call home about, you know what I'm saying? I know that they kind of took it easy being that it was the intro. I do wish they would have came in with more of a triumphant or just a little bit more aggressive type nature to open the album. But you know, some dope lyrics in there where Nas talks about investing in education. I love the Stretch and Bobbito references, you know what I'm talking about? So like I grew up listening to classic freestyle, Stretch and Bobbito, Funk Flex, DJ Clue. So it's cool that he mentioned that because that's one of the platforms where Nas actually got discovered and put on, built his name up as a lyricist. So I totally get it. And I appreciate the fact that he continues to have a clear understanding of what he did in order to become who he is today. A lot of people kind of lose touch with their former self or with some of the things that they did in their past to become legends. And that's why you don't really see them performing at a high level later in their career, whereas Nas been in the game 25, almost 30 years, and he can drop an album with Hit Boy and it don't look crazy. We already know about the R&B exes he's talking about. Shout out Khalees, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we get it. I don't hear no cap in his rap, and that's one thing that I do appreciate about this album after listening to it is that he dropped so much truth in here, you know what I mean? Like, even artists that are rich, even artists that are successful, they tend to drop a lot of hyperbole and exaggeration in their lyrics, but Nas really is just kind of like nonchalantly and casually stunting on niggas, and I really appreciate it because if you check what he's been doing in cryptocurrency and the tech space, he's definitely elevated the pockets. You feel me? Death Row East. I just to go ahead and preface it, a lot of people out there don't really know that Nas and Tupac had a little bit of a misunderstanding before Tupac died. Tupac was always openly a fan of Nas. Anytime he seen him, he would big him up and show him nothing but love. But I guess when he heard the message on It Was Written, where Nas says, "Fake thug, no love, you get the slug," Pac took offense to it. And basically during that time period between 94 to 96, Pac took offense to anybody who used the word thug in a negative way in their raps because he felt like they was talking about him because he was the one stamping that word with his crew Thug Life. He got it tatted across his stomach. He was really pushing hard. Nobody else was really using the word in a positive way. So anytime he heard somebody besmirching that title, he was coming at him. So it's dope to hear Nas actually reflect on those times when he had beef with Pac and there was tension between the East Coast and the West Coast, Death Row and all of that. He talks about how some artists from the East Coast ended up wearing the Death Row tees because Pac and Suge were recruiting some of the artists from New York, and how that made him feel a little weird because he like, yo, these dudes are going at us. They going crazy. How y'all wearing Death Row t-shirts? How y'all going inside and with them and doing records? You know what I mean? Like, and we haven't come to no resolution yet on like what the problem is, how we gonna move forward. Y'all just choosing sides with them. Later on, he reveals that he actually did the Street Dreams video in Vegas in hopes of meeting with Tupac. Of course, we know that Vegas is where Pac faces untimely demise. And, you know, they play a clip at the end of the song. It sounds like Ed Lover was hosting a Nas show. And he actually broke the news to the people in the crowd that Pac was pronounced dead. And they took a moment of silence. So, you know, one thing that I always commend is that Pac and Nas did have an opportunity to speak and make some sort of peace before Tupac passed, because of the fact of a lot of people didn't. A lot of people's last words or last, feelings towards him was negative or bad. So I'm just glad that they were able to mend whatever was going on between them before they no longer had the chance. For those that don't know, 40 side is actually the side of Queens where Nas was raised at. So this is a clear reflection of, you know, things going on back in his neighborhood. He's calling out people on the song that's in the hood with no ambition, talking down on people that's really doing things. Like, you might not have been a famous rapper, but you had chances, bro. Everybody at least had one chance in life. You either went right or left, and sometimes when you make that decision, it's hard to get back. But most people have something, a fork in the road, where it's like, yo, I could leave the hood, I could go do this, but you got situations back home that you're trying to be aware of or privy to. You don't want to leave. You don't want to look like a sellout to the hood or whatever the case may be. And sometimes, in order to be a resource to those people, you got to make them trips, man. He called out the fact that he finally got his Grammy in this song. You know what I'm saying? Like, he been in the game 25, 30 years. Finally got a Grammy with all the classics he done dropped. It's ridiculous. But it's a celebratory moment because at least he got it. EPMD 2. EPMD was actually one of my favorite records off of King's Disease 1. Just the way he approached it and was rhyming on it, it felt like vintage Nas. So when I seen the track list and there was an EPMD 2 featuring Eminem and EPMD, I was pretty excited to hear it. I wanted to know if Hit Boy was going to actually give them a different beat, a new beat, remix it, or however he was going to do it. And I'm happy with how it came out, to be honest. Number one, the fact that we have EPMD actually on a record. We know that they've had plenty of fallouts and reunions over the course of their career in the last 30 years. They seem to be on good terms now, which is dope. Eric and Parrish. Nas did his thing on the second verse, but you already know the star of the show on this one is Eminem. Now, I've seen a lot of people talking bad about how many words he's using. Some people were mad that he had the fast flow, but what I really appreciated about the verse was that he came in with that rapid flow and then he kind of slowed it down and paced himself for a bit, which we have not really heard from Eminem in the last 5-6 years. He's been, you know what I'm saying? So to hear him kind of take his time and pace himself throughout the verse, and then he got to the climax of the verse, they did the beat switch, scaled it back, and just let him go, you know what I'm saying? He was able to really catch a vibe and catch a dope pattern that he wanted to pursue. So to me, I think that's what Eminem shines the most, is when he kind of like comes in a little bit subdued and lets the verse build. Sometimes he just comes in and it's like word vomit, you know what I'm saying? Which is why a lot of people that quote unquote like street music don't really get into what he does, because he's such a technically skilled artist that he does not always know when to scale it back. But I appreciated this song. I thought it was dope. Rare. Yo. This is actually one of my favorite songs on the project. Rare. I'm in rare form. Niggas talk down on my name like I wasn't there for him. Like, I can relate to that. You know what I mean? I've been there, done that. Wearing rare Jordans from Air Jordan is a fair warning. Like, that's a flex that not everybody can actually relate to. Wearing rare Jordans straight from Air Jordan, like, you could go line up. You could wait 6 hours, 12 hours to get you a pair of J's at the local shoe store. But this man said, I got the rare Jordan straight from Air Jordan. So, you know, the company is sending that to the crib. He get to unbox them things and walk outside, no problem. So I thought that was dope. It's only certain people that really get those exclusives, so that's a stunt within itself. Again, like, hearing Nas over this different type of production, man, is just what really excites me about the project, to hear him really floating and getting his flow back, because over the course of the last few years, I've heard him on like DJ Khaled songs, I've heard him on other people's songs, and maybe the engineers wasn't always putting his verse in the right spot. It sounded like he was rapping off beat on some stuff. Like, he really sounds in his zone and in his pocket on this project. So it makes me excited to hear more from him, and specifically more from him and Hit Boy. I really think that they're a good tandem. Like, I think that they should honestly form a group. I think they should do the same thing that Royce da 5'9" and DJ Premier did with Prime, or like LP and Killer Mike with Run the Jewels. Like, I think that this is a pivotal moment in their careers, and I wouldn't mind hearing more work from them, to be honest. And then we heard the classic Braveheart chant on there. How long has it been since I heard that? Braveheart, Braveheart. Like, that just put me back in the zone of like early 2000s when Major Look came out. And, you know, man, like I said, I've always been a big fan of Nas. Then we got a beat switch, okay? We got another beat switch on this joint. They brought that 80s clap pattern in, and then it came with like this mysterious sample, and I'm my own cosign. Once again, something I can relate to. I'm my own cosign. I'm an artist within my own right. And I've stopped looking to the industry for validation, stopped waiting for anybody to discover me. I put myself on, bro. I make money off of music every day. So it's like hearing people that do this on a whole nother level than I am, it just gives me motivation and inspiration to keep aspiring, keep shooting for the stars, and knowing that I can do it on my own. I don't need somebody in my pockets taking 80% of my funds, because we can't live like that, bro. YKTV featuring A Boogie with the hoodie and YG. Every time I pop out, it pop off. Like, it's dope to hear Nas on competitive trap production. This is something that could play on the radio. They could throw this on in the clubs. DJs could throw it in their mix. Like I said, to hear Nas actually rapping competitively, and not just being competitive in the form of like lyricism, but really being competitive with the market. Understanding that the Lil Durks, the YGs, the A Boogies with the hoodies, and all of these different types of artists, they're out here now, and this is their domain. So he's like linking up with them, like, yo, let me flow with y'all. Let's get in the lab. Let's create, and let's do something that's tailored to what y'all do, but I'm gonna still bring myself to it. I love that. I love that. I love that. Imagine Lil Uzi on a Primo beat. Imagine NAS on a Migo beat. Never thought I would see it, but to see him actually pushing himself is what excites me the most. I've been saying it for a couple tracks now. The amount of truth this man is really kicking on his album, like only people that really understand his journey will truly appreciate the little subtle lines. It ain't the punchlines, it's the subtle lines that he's like just jabbing, like the little stunts. Cause Nas ain't really flashy. Like, he's very classy with how he carries himself. He does wear jewelry and stuff like that, but compared to other rappers, he is very, very classy and sophisticated. He does have a street edge to him. He likes to wear a big gold Cuban link chain. He does wear rings and watches and stuff like that, but he's never gaudy. He's never, you know what I mean? It's very rare that you see Nas with 5 chains on. It's very rare that you see Nas on the gram just stunting. He normally just looks like he's living his life and enjoying it for the most part. I'm not crazy about the A Boogie verse though. Like, I really wish they would have found somebody else to fill in that spot. Never really been a big fan of A Boogie, but the way he rode the beat, it wasn't bad, but it just didn't jive well, especially not after Nas came through and was like kicking his shit, man. YG did save the song for me though. He brought classic YG energy. Felt like YG got a battery in his back. Kind of sounded like My Crazy Life YG over again. So shout out to them. Dope track though. I don't mind enduring A Boogie with the hoodie on it. I just wish they would have found somebody else to fill in that second verse. But whatever. Store Run. Banned from some after hour spots because my crew choose violence. Man, I'm telling you, like, he's spitting on this album. Like, and I'm not even giving y'all the half of what he's saying. The beat is dope on this song. It's a nice blend. It has that old school boom bap feel to it, but it has like a certain sound to it that's not just confined to that time period. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of how Kanye used to chop up some of his samples and make beats when he was dealing with Common and Talib Kweli, and during that era, shortly after the College Dropout came out, because he reinvented the wheel as well as far as like sample production and hip-hop production at that time period. So this kind of reminds me of that. Nas said, mention me with Mick Jagger and Bono. Why y'all still mentioning me with rappers, bro? I'm a legend. I'm a legacy act, as y'all say. Like, Mick Jagger and Bono getting fat checks, and and when they want to perform, they getting paid handsomely to do so. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. Moments. First off, hearing Jansport Jay's tag in the beginning of this song really meant a lot to me. He produced on a lot of classic mixtapes, especially stuff coming from the West Coast. So the fact that him and Hit Boy linked up and he's on a Nas album. Um, Once again, it's just a testament to hard work. It's a testament to staying diligent, doing what you love to do, and not letting the outside world deter you from your goals, man. Shout out to Jansport J on that. Nas's attention to detail is what really continued to impress me as I kept listening to this project. This song Moments is all about capturing like your firsts, things that you did for the first time, the feeling that you got when you did it. Because truth be told, when you experience something for the first time, it's going to be very hard to regain that feeling again until you do something else for the first time. You can't go back and do it and get that same dopamine rush in your brain because you've already felt it before. Now that it hits you, it's like tainted. It's like you still like it, you still enjoy it, but nothing compares to the first time. Storytelling ability has always been influential, especially to me. He said, my whole career I steered away from features, which is a fact. If you look at his whole discography, you don't see a lot of people featured on his albums. Boardrooms, courtrooms, both will leave you with war wounds. Like, Nas is dropping a lot of facts and very autobiographical type of stuff, and he's saying it in subtle ways that I really appreciate, because he's been in the boardroom and he's been in the courtrooms. We've seen him in the courtrooms when they took that tax money from him. You know what I'm saying? And they wanted to try to throw him in jail, and we've seen him in courtrooms as it pertained to his ex-wife and divorce and child custody and all of these types of things. And he said boardrooms and courtrooms will leave you with war wounds. Like, just because I made it to this status don't mean that I'm unscathed or that I'm living a perfect life. Like, real stuff is happening to me too. And once again, that's inspiring to know, you know what I mean, that he's still in touch with himself. I've been with the social distance, man. You speaking my life right now. I've been with the social distance, man. Like when quarantine and the pandemic hit, like, and they said we can't go nowhere, I was elated because that allowed me to lock in with this microphone right here. I ain't gonna lie to you. One more salute to Nas for reviving the third verse, please. Me and my brother were just talking about this a couple weeks ago, bro. Like, the industry has changed so much that songs are now like 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And that's like, you know what I mean, the standard at this point. Like, people are reducing the length of their songs. They're trying to make it palatable to social media so that when you take the clip and put it up, like, that the most prominent part of the record is what you want people to tune into. You don't really care about the rest. Like, the third verse has been extinct. The little things, bro, that stand out, especially to me as an artist, as a musician, as somebody who really cares about this. Those things definitely stand out to me. The boom bap continues. It's crazy to me that somebody like Hit Boy is really reviving the boom bap sound. And I'm not gonna act like he's reinventing the wheel, like there's nobody else out there doing that, because we know Griselda, Mac Homies, we know about the Ransoms and the RJ Paynes, Royce 5'9", all of those people. I know that they're doing it, but from the vantage point that Hit Boy and Nas are on with this album, it reminded, like, this song Nobody, it really takes me back to a time back when I used to listen to like Common and Little Brother in the mid 2000s, like, but it still has an air of like, it still feels current. It doesn't feel outdated. Nas is talking about trying to get away, going somewhere off the grid to be nobody. Like, some days he gets tired of being Nas. He gets tired of being a celebrity, or every time he walk out the store, somebody want a picture or somebody want an autograph, or, you know what I mean, people come to him asking for favors that don't even know him, the fake cousins and all of that. Like, how about we just go somewhere and be a regular civilian? I really appreciate that. If I could take care of my family, you know what I'm saying, turn my girlfriend into a wife. If she want to have children, we can do that. You know what I'm saying? Right now, she already has a son. I'm, you know what I mean, evolving into stepdad role. Like, I'm so much relating with this grown man rap, dog. And Lauryn Hill comes in with a rap verse. How long has it been since you heard her spit a 16? Okay? Like, for real, for real. And she came in swinging. All my time been focused on my freedom. Why would I join them when I know that I can beat them, man? Listen, be wanting me here, there, everywhere. Y'all trying to water down my presence. You know what I'm saying? You want to turn me into a caricature of myself. How about I don't do that? How about nah? You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. Now, Let's you going too far talking about how, you know, you try out here saving souls and they talking about your lateness. Now, for that, we will have to put a strike against you now because people pay their hard-earned money to come see you at a show. If you don't want to be there, then cancel it. But don't have them people waiting in the rain. I live in Atlanta. A lot of people out here still mad because you had them waiting for 3 hours in the rain. But we love you. And mid-verse, Hit Boy comes with another beat switch. I really appreciate the time and effort that Hit Boy put into the production of his album, bro. I can't talk about it enough. Like, he didn't just give Nas skeletons of a beat and just let him go crazy on it, and then they mix and master it and put it out. Like, he really worked on every element of these tracks, and you can tell. Some of the spots, some of the lines got DJ scratches in it, the beat switches. I appreciate the attention to detail that they put into this project, especially in today's time where you don't have to do that. It's not required that you put effort into your music to be an artist today. No Phony Love featuring Charlie Wilson. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all now, I could have lived without Charlie Wilson on this song. I really love Uncle Charlie, man. He's been around for a long time. He's got nothing but classics. He's been around. He's contributed to a lot of classic hip-hop records as well, rap songs. But this is one that I could have done without. Nas is really talking on this song, and I just didn't like how they kind of like did a duet on the chorus, and Charlie is like kind of overbearing. Nas is still there, and it just doesn't have a harmonious mesh to it. But I like the song, though. I like it. It's cool. Love shit, you know what I'm saying? No Phony Love. I get it. I understand it. You could tell the energy in the studio was gelling for the most part, but I wish they would have hit mute on Mr. Charlie Wilson before the final version came out. I'm sorry. And I'm going to have to say the same thing for Brunch on Sundays. I like this record. I do like this record. Number one, I think it's hilarious that he's calling out the restaurant owners that be hating on the girls twerking. Like, that is hilarious to me. Stop complaining about them girls twerking. He told her, leave them girls alone. Yo, I'm with that movement. Let them girls do what they going to do. If you're going to be playing twerk anthems in the spot, you got to let them get a little loose. You know what I'm saying? You giving them liquor. You giving them bottomless mimosas. You playing all the current hits. Women gonna dance, bruh. So I thought it was hilarious that he called them out. She told me about her last date. I had to laugh in her face. Bruh, as a man, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. As a man, we know what he's talking about. DC girl, Sadiddy, he's definitely not lying about that. Shorty was an AKA best friend at Delta. Like I said, his attention to detail, bruh. My girl is a Delta. Like, he's talking. I understand that he did mention Blast in the verse, so I get that Blast would be on the song. I just wish that he wasn't. He's doing well by himself. Blast really didn't add his signature touch to it. Like, he's there and he's doing what he does, but I think that the engineering, the mix and master on it does not allow him to shine the same way that he does on his solo records. And you know, I just think it puts a damper on his presence on the album. So I kind of wish they would have saved that and cashed in on the relationship and that Blast feature for something else. But overall, I do like the song. I like the beat. I like the content. I just don't like Blast, how he sounds on this record. Count Me In. All right, now this is where we get to the part of the project that I really felt like didn't need to be there. This is a song that I wish was not on the project. Not to say it's bad or that I'm hating on it, because I'm not. It's just that the album was on such a high. Like, it was riding on building and just moments that I really enjoyed. So then we're getting to like the second half of the project and it's like dying down and it's making me less interested. You know what I mean? The beat is decent. Nas is still lyrically being Nas. There's nothing wrong with it. But I just wouldn't have minded it, this particular song, Count Me In, being shaved off. Like, just shave the fat off. Composure featuring Hit Boy. I honestly feel like this should have been in the place of Count Me In. Hit Boy came through with a dope verse, standing on the green like the U.S. Open. Like, Hit Boy, like he's always been dope to me as a artist and a producer. So to hear him on a Nas project spitting bars, getting a little 16 in, that's dope to me. He had some poignant lines on there, so salute on that. Spirit of excellence in my genetics. Like he's talking, bro. Like saying stuff that honestly I would probably say in my lyrics. I'm washing my hands with the soap opera shit. I'm telling y'all, Hit Boy got focused, bro. He said some shit. But maybe he cooked it up, you know what I'm saying? And Nas was like, I'm on the way. And he was like, all right, I got something for you. Nas still came through and did his thing on it, no less. He talks about how his pops left to the Navy when he was a kid and how he grew up in the projects and was hiding his chain and trying to get back to the house after school and stuff like that. Nas reflects on his past, like the clarity, the attention to detail, like I've been saying, man. Like, it's all very vivid, bro. You could literally print this man's lyrics out in a book and sell it. You know what I'm saying? And it would be like a New York Times bestseller because his pen is really just that sharp. It's amazing to me. My Bible, definition of a man, don't fold on the stand. I appreciated that line. He's saying some real shit in this song. Once again, I could have done without this song, bro. Like, to be honest, from track 2 to track 11, I felt like they had a really great pocket. And then everything after track 11 just gradually went downhill. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's high, so that means that it's still in the average zone. It's not below average. It's not bad. But it just became kind of like, man, I want to go back to the middle of the album. So My Bible was that. He's dropping jewels on the song. Lyrically, it's dope. The beat is dope. I just don't like them together. I would have liked to have heard somebody else maybe on this beat and maybe Nas say those lyrics over a different track. Just my opinion, though. Talking about the black women being the least protected on this earth. Stay out of black women business unless you invested in it. Like, I'm with all that. But overall, not crazy about the song. And the final track on the album, Nas Is Good. Again, I could have lived without it, bruh. I really would have encouraged Hit Boy and Nas to make this from track 2 to track 11. Just let it ride. We would have been perfect. We would have been set. I understand them wanting to kind of have a ceremonious vibe on there, but I just didn't care for it. I'm not going to do a long and drawn out explanation. Just don't care for it, man. Overall, I would give this album a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's really good. I think it has its high moments. I think there's some really good tracks on here. But the second half of the album began to lose my attention, and it wasn't so much because of anything that Nas did. It was just that the beat selection started to dwindle a little bit for me. So that's my assessment, man. 7.5 out of 10. King's Disease 2, Nas and Hit Boy. All right, much love and respect. If you made it to the end of this, I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. Drop a comment. Let me know what you liked off the project. Let me know if you disagree, if you agree, whatever. I'm open to having a conversation. As long as you have respect when you come to me, then we're going to be good, all right? Stay on the lookout for more content. Peace.